Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. I am here with your weekly collective tarot reading for the week of May 31st. So, wow, it's kind of interesting getting back into the groove of these readings. Yeah, but I think some grounding is in order. So I'm going to start off with a meditation. If you would like to join me, just make sure you're not driving or doing something where you're active, and get yourself to a place that is safe and comfortable for you. And we'll go ahead when you're ready, seated, lying down. I want to invite you to get comfortable, feel your feet on the floor, or if you're lying down, feel your feet and your legs supported by the couch or the lounge or the grass. Feel your body sinking into the seat, the pillows, the cushions. Feel every part of you connecting with the structure that is supporting you. Feel the mass of your body. If you're sitting, sinking down further into the chair. Feel the back of your thighs supported, your low back supported. Maybe even here you feel your arms sinking down into the cushions by your side or in your lap, or like me, just resting on the table surface. And just breathe normally. I want you to bring your focus to the space between the inhale and the exhale of your breathing. Pausing between each inhale and each exhale, slowly, just breathing normally. The stillness between each inhale and exhale, allowing yourself to let go in that stillness. Be in your body. Be in this moment. Be present. Feeling your breath. Fill your lungs. And on the next inhale, imagine the breath going deeply down toward your knees. And with each inhale, the breath goes further down to your toes. Imagine each inhale pulling in air, pulling in the present moment, filling every part of your body, all the way down to your toes, out or down to your fingertips. Maybe even feeling it fill to the top of your head. And imagine your breath, your inhale, filling you with so much of this moment, this present stillness, that it expands outside of your body, creating an aura. And in that aura is the wondrous present moment. The you connected with the core of the earth and outstretched all the way toward the sun. You are the expansiveness of the universe. You are enlarged. You are filled with the love of the present moment. You are here now. So from that expansiveness, come back into your body. Maybe wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, and open your eyes when you are ready. Wow, wonderful, wonderful. So this is your weekly tarot and oracle card reading for the week of May 31st. I want to remind you that this reading may not resonate with everyone, but it is a way of taking a story, taking a perspective, and maybe turning it slightly and seeing what else it might be able to be. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay. Let's see. Let's get an overall theme card for this reading. I like to pull the Black Power Tarot deck. Just pull one card. These are all major arcana, but these are all based on African American music and entertainment, cultural icons who made history really in the Black community in the US. So let's go ahead. I call on my divine masters and teachers to come into this reading. I call on my ascended and enlightened ancestors to come into this reading with an overall theme for the week of May 31st. Honestly, this could also be a timeless reading, so if you find this reading and you like it, this could be the reading that resonates. So let's go ahead. Spirit, can you give us a card? Thank you. Put that there. Put these over here for now. So let's see, what did we get? This is the Empress, I believe. I don't know French. That's so funny. Let's see. I had my, here we go. All right. So this is the Empress, yes. Did I say the High Priestess or the Empress? This is the Empress. And see if you can see that. You might not be able to. Oh, I wish I had better light. This is Nina Simone. Nina Simone was, to me, I fell in love with her music when I was really discovering my own independence, which is very interesting. I feel like there might be a lot of women who connected to Nina Simone at a certain time, but for me, it was very much discovering Nina Simone's music was at a time when I was really understanding my strength, my power, the beginnings of it, like the very beginnings of it, and my independence too as well. So if this resonates, maybe this reading will be for you. I recommend looking up some of her music. One of my favorites of hers is Pirate Jenny. That her version of Pirate Jenny was it's almost as if as you listen to it, you can actually see the visuals. Like if you're an imaginative person like me, you can see the visuals and you can understand from maybe even the standpoint of someone who has been enslaved, someone who has been taken from their own land and meant to and made to serve others. And in this, she's actually getting her payback, right? And it's just a great song to me. Pirate Jenny is one of my favorites of hers. And she's got plenty more, but that's one of the ones that always sticks out for me. All right, so I'm going to put this here just for now. The Empress card. And the Empress is all about fertility as well. And when I say fertility, I'm saying it from a standpoint of what are we pushing out into the world? And this can apply to male or female. What are we holding the space for to create a new empire? What are we doing to birth, right? To put forth into the world some sort of new idea, some sort of new a new thing. So that also could be what the theme of this reading will be. Okay, so let's go ahead and get some tarot. I apologize early on for the lighting. I thought I had it set up pretty good, but apparently I need a little bit better lighting. Let's see if I can adjust it a little bit. I don't want to burn myself. Let's see if I can adjust it. Sorry, let's see. Nope. Maybe. Oh, that's super weird. Maybe that's better. Okay, we'll go with that. All right. I call on my divine masters and teachers to come into this reading. I call on my enlightened and ascended ancestors to come into this reading with some guidance for the collective for the week of May 31st, 2021. All right. Spirit, can you give us some cards for the reading, for this reading? Thank you. Can you give us some cards for this reading? Can you give us some cards for this reading? I think you wanted that one. Ooh, okay, that one. Can you give us some cards for this reading? Yes, thank you. Can you give us some, oh, I'll take that one, okay. All right, let's see what we have here. Wow. Okay. These kind of came out together. This one kind of came out last, so I'll keep that aside. Okay, so what do we have? We've got the Ten of Wands, the Queen of Pentacles, who came up last week. And these came out together, but I'll show them separately. The Lover's card. The Ten of Cups. And then we had the Page of Wands. And lastly, I believe this one wanted to come out, the Seven of Cups. And then on the bottom of the deck, the Knight of Swords. So let's get into this. With the, sorry, dropped something. So with the week is starting off, if we take into account what's going on in the stars, Mercury went into retrograde. I believe it's retrograde in Gemini, which is where Mercury is, I believe, at its highest power. I can't remember. The opposite of detriment. it's Mercury is supposed to be very powerful in Gemini, but the fact that it's retrograde in Gemini means that communications could be jumbled a little bit. So expect that this week. But also let's take a look. So we've got the Ten of Wands. I'm going to set the Empress down so that I can give you kind of a play-by-play of each card. Hope you can see that. Okay, so first up we have the Ten of Wands. The Ten of Wands in this particular deck, we're seeing that there's a tree there that has, honestly, it looks like it's come to it's gone past its maturity. You can see there are figures of women. There are I think there's like 3 women in that tree. But there's this feeling that we've outgrown the place where we are, right? We've outgrown a certain, maybe a certain location, maybe the place that we are in life. We've outgrown something, because the 10 here indicates that there's a need to move forward. All of our passions have brought us to a place of maturity, to the place where we are no longer we are almost too much for the land that we're on, right? We're almost too much for the land that we have found ourselves planted in. And so it's time to move. It's time to we can see the roots here above the ground. I never really noticed that before, but we can see the roots above the ground. And it's almost as if we're being uprooted in order to move. And wands are all about passions and actions. And it could be that, hey, look, it's time for us to take all of our passions, all of our ideas, all of the fire, right? That all of everything that we do needs to now be refocused, needs to now be moved. Now, I will say, with the Queen of Pentacles showing up here, we might be talking about starting a new business, or we may be thinking of how we can be enterprising with that movement. How we can, how are we, it's not so much taking control of our kingdom, but how are we guiding our kingdom into new territories? So it could be that there's an opportunity coming forward for you, because the Queen of Pentacles is all about that. Again, I don't want to say taking control, because the Queen of Pentacles is already in control. There's no questioning a queen, right? There's no questioning a queen's position. She is the queen, right? And if we look at that and claim that for ourselves, there's no questioning us being in our power, but there is this wondering of, what will I create in this new space? And for me, this is a feeling of not questioning power, but even the idea of expanding a kingdom. Excuse me. So let's take up these cards here. Now, this is really indicative. Gemini is showing up in this reading. It's Gemini season, but Mercury is also retrograde in Gemini. But let's really take a look at this. So we have the Lover's card and the Ten of Cups. This is really just talking about, we have decisions to make. There's this idea of needing to make a decision, right? It's clarified here too, that we've got to make a decision, or there's a big decision about maybe even merging. But if this is about relationships for you, which it could be, maybe start thinking in terms of how can I be in this relationship, right? How can I, and even honestly, if you're thinking about a business, it's the same question along the same lines, because relationships here are, it's weird that I get this sense that business relationships as well, are undergoing this humanizing, where we're taking out the formality and we're actually treating each other like humans. So all relationships are probably going to have the same question, but the question is, are we willing to accept non-traditional ways of either doing business, or a non-traditional way of expanding our kingdom, as this Queen of Pentacles is implying, of expanding our resources? Are we willing to take into account that sometimes the expanding of our fortunes doesn't look like it, the expanding of our fortunes and our kingdoms doesn't always look like we think it should. And I say that by saying, it doesn't look like the traditional path of, for some people, I would say marriage. For other people, say in business, I would say business contracts, even though, yes, we definitely want our business contracts to be solid and legally binding. But at the same time, what can we do to give without really putting ourselves at risk in a business sense? You might be thinking that. I don't know why that came out, but I'm trying to help think that way, help you move in that direction of thinking. And again, all of this is, I'm not here to give you the future. I'm here to give you something to think about. And maybe it's coincidental with your journey, your life path, the way that you intuit and move and feel and act through the world. So I just want to help on that journey. So let's go ahead and look at this Ten of Cups. The Ten of Cups is indicative that we could get everything that we wanted in a way that is non-traditional. We could get everything that we wanted in a way that is non-traditional and doesn't look like the way that we thought it would look like. Because the Lover's card talks about, are we willing to really just focus on the love? Focus on the love. Focus on the exchange of love. Instead of saying, well, in order to be in love, it has to have a contract. It has to have, it has to have this, it has to have that. And we get so involved in like reaching the milestone that we forget that there are steps along the way that make it worth it to get to the milestone. And the steps, it's being in that moment of taking the steps that really matters versus getting to the, here's the traditional marriage certificate. Here's the traditional, here's the traditional contract. I know this sounds weird. hopefully it makes sense to you. Yeah. But either way, again, remember that it's Mercury retrograde, so it's probably a good idea to focus really on our passions versus signing contracts. Maybe even just think about what we want to, what relationships we want to expand on, what business, focuses we want to expand on. Okay. And of course, the Ten of Cups. This talks about, again, we can get everything that we want. We can get all of our emotions fulfilled by doing this. We can get everything we wanted from any kind of relationship if we focus on thinking about that now. So maybe now is not even the time to act, but now is the time to go inside and really have that internal dialogue with the self. So now we have the Page of Wands. It's almost as if the Ten of Wands is sending out feelers. Can you see that? Okay. So it's almost as if the Ten of Wands is now sending out feelers after having gone through this first row of the Ten of Wands, the Queen of Pentacles, the Lovers, and the Ten of Cups. Now we've come into the point where it's like, I am now stepping up. And it could be the fact that you're actually stepping up and moving forward, because what comes after 10 in the tarot, the Page. So we got the Page of Wands, the Page of Wands. There's movement, there's adventure to be had. There's a message of adventure coming in. There's a message of movement. So we have made progression by focusing on this non-traditional way of having relationships and that expand our sense of self, and not just the relationships that are how do I say this not just the relationships that are for example, I've known this person for so long, that's why they're my friend. I mean, that doesn't make sense, right? Because as you change and you grow, you make allowances for other people to change and grow like you do, right? So it's that thing of, there could be some sort of new opportunity coming in, business or relationship. And the thing is that if I had a friendship from like someone that I knew from 20 years ago, and it's kind of like, I know that person, or I knew that person then, and I, grew up with them over a certain time, and I still know them peripherally now. It's almost as if, but I don't know them anymore. And am I getting out of the relationship what I need? Am I in that relationship the way that I need to be for them? Probably not, probably yes, who knows? This is up to you, but this is something that I'm just presenting where, instead of locking you and another person into some sort of like cycle of, we're friends because I knew you way back when, right? It's almost freeing to say, you know what? Just because I knew you for so long, and I knew you as like a kid, and I know you now as an adult, doesn't mean that we've grown into a space that we are still friends, or we are still this or still that. There's no need to lock anybody into that. This is about this beginning of this reading seems like it's about fostering some new relationships, be it social, be it business, whatever. But I just want to make sure that I expand on that thought. And I'm pretty sure if you are of a certain age, or you've reached a certain age, it's kind of like, just because I've known this person since XYZ doesn't mean that I have to continue going along in some sort of like I want to say it's not toxic. It's not toxic, but sometimes it can be if you're demanding a person be something just because they were there. Now they're here peripherally, but before it was like, oh yeah, ha, dandy, dandy, all this is great. Anyway, I'm rambling. My guides are telling me to shut up. Okay, I'm going to stop over speaking. All right, let's move on to the Seven of Cups. And I think this just kind of nails into that idea of we're moving forward. And it's time to, you know what? We're moving out of Gemini. Not now, but soon. We'll be moving out of Gemini into Cancer. I think Cancer is a water sign. So it could be that whatever comes of this new relationshiping, right? This expansion, and this adventure, this new phase of our lives, right? It could be that we are moving into this dreamlike energy where the possibilities become endless. We can really just kind of pick out what dreams, which way we want to go. And a lot of times the Seven of Cups is all about, oh, there's too many choices to be made. But in this one, I actually see that there's calmness there's actually a sense of peace in the idea that we have the ability to pick and choose where to go next, if that makes any sense. We dream about these things. So it's good to, again, if you're not doing it, I really need to figure out how to make some sort of a video or a presentation or something on dream journaling. I do have an idea where I would love to start a dream group or a dream journaling group, meeting up maybe once every other week or something like that. Just a few ladies, if you'd like to join, a few ladies. I say that because I feel like most of my readers are women or have feminine energy. So calling on all you feminine energies, if you're interested in starting a dream group, I would love to, because I love dreaming. I actually had one recently and I'm just like, what was that about? But anyway, so yeah, it could be that you're going into maybe a dream opportunity. That's probably it, a dream opportunity, or at least understanding that the opportunities that have now opened to you are endless, and it's now time to ruminate on that. So the bottom of the deck, and again, we're back at the Empress here. And of course, the Empress is definitely about one of fertility. And when I say fertile, I mean bringing something out of the self into existence. And it's kind of like an alchemy, right? And it's interesting that we can take something that's an idea in our heads and make it real outside of ourselves. Or we can take it's alchemy. It's taking something that was one thing, making it into an entirely other new thing. It's just amazing to think about that. But at the bottom of the deck, we have the Knight of Swords. And for me, the Knight of Swords is all about loyalty. So really, whatever you're doing, wherever you're moving, make sure you remain loyal to you, to yourself, to your authentic self. Because that, I think, is going to be the driving force that gets you to this Empress energy in this creation. So let's do one more thing and get some guidance. This week I'm going to do Animal Spirit. I don't know why, but I just kind of felt called to do Animal Spirit for this week. So let's pull a card for Animal Spirit, some guidance from the Animal Spirit. This is Kim Kranz's Wild Unknown Animal Spirit deck. All right. I call on all my divine masters and teachers. I call on my ascended, oops, wonder what that is. Keep it out, who knows? Ascended and enlightened ancestors to give some guidance for the collective for the week of May 31st. All right. Spirit, do you have any guidance? Do you have any guidance for the collective for the week of May 31st? Okay, let's try one more time. Any guidance? Yeah. You know what? I feel like this dropped out for a reason. Let's look at Spider. I actually think this is kind of, what's the word? Serendipitous, maybe? I don't know. Because spiders create. They create a web, right? They use the web to catch things. So let's see. And it's funny. Opened up right. The first page that it opened up to in the book was titled The Food Web. Okay, let's go ahead and see what Spider has to bring us. What message do you have for us, Spider? Okay. Look at that. Spider, creator of prosperity, right? Through life's work or dharma. The spider is an ingenious creator. Look at that. Its greatest gift is weaving the thread of dharma into a vast, intricate web that supports the spider and those around it. Both financially and spiritually. It is hard work, but the spider neither tires, nor becomes impatient. This card reminds us creativity is everywhere. Be process-oriented rather than results-oriented, and soon your work becomes like the weaving of a magical, priceless tapestry. Abundance follows. So when this energy is in balance, it is appreciative, enthusiastic, and prosperous. But when it is out of balance, it is discouraged, tired, and forlorn. To bring into balance, playful creativity. And I think that's where this Lover's card comes in. Playful creativity. We sometimes forget that's a thing, right? Or at least sometimes I do. I do try and play every day, but I think a lot of times when honestly, sometimes I look at my friends with kids and I'm like, they have so much fun. Like, they have so much fun. They have to, like, sometimes get down in the dirt and play with them, or like, you know, run around in the woods with them, or try and understand like new puzzles and artworks and like all that fun stuff. Because I just feel like, you know, seeing some of my friends, they're just like reliving their childhood through their children, which is so great. But sometimes I think we as adults, we need to discover our own playfulness as well. So we need to open up that portal in playful creativity, not to create something that's going to make us money or create something that's going to make us like popular or trendy or anything like that. Playful creativity is just that, just playing for joy, playing for fun, playing for smiles, anything that makes you happy. Whatever you want to create, just create it. But it's not for consumption, you know, it's just for you. All right. That is your reading for the week of May 31st. I have enjoyed my time with you, and you know what? If you're interested in doing a dream journaling group, or interested in having a dream group where you share your dreams and really delve deep into the meanings for you, or even some sort of discussion, hit me up, let me know, and I'll be talking about that a little bit more. Okay, bye. Have a good week.